What's up, everybody? It's RJ, bringing some bonus content for you. You can catch me on Twitter at RJEman. I'm sure you'll be getting a lot of tweets from me tonight while Full Gear is happening for All Elite Wrestling, the first All Elite Wrestling pay-per-view since the debut on TNT. Full Gear is coming. It's starting with the BuyIn. You can catch that at 7:30. It is available on AEW's YouTube channel and on Bleacher Report Live, which is also where, if you are in the United States, you're going to be watching this pay-per-view on Bleacher Report Live. I think it's $50. I don't remember. I ordered it like a week ago. I don't remember how much it costs. If you are in the United Kingdom, I think it's ITV. If you're in the United Kingdom, it is ITV Box Office, and internationally, you can watch this show on Fight TV. I got my notes here, so let's get right into it. Don't want to make this video too long. Just a little preview here. So we have the BuyIn. The BuyIn is one match. It is the women's division match between Britt Baker and Bea Priestley. The backstory to this is that at Fight for the Fallen, they were in a tag team match together. Bea Priestley hit a knee or a kick, I think it was a knee, on Britt Baker, and Britt Baker got a concussion. Britt says that Bea is the only person that never came to check on her, never text her, never call her to make sure she's okay. Britt has attacked Bea Priestley every time she has seen her since then. These two women cannot be anywhere near each other without wanting to rip each other's heads off. This should be an absolutely fantastic match. Britt can be a little up and down performance-wise, but the promo that she cut on Dynamite and the video was absolutely phenomenal. I got Britt Baker winning this one. And then we get into the main show. We have Shawn Spears, who is obviously going to be accompanied to the ring by his mentor and friend, Tully Blanchard. Shout out to Patrick at RantModon. And he's taking on Joey Janela. You might have missed the beginning of the backstory for this match. Joey Janela actually disrespected Tully Blanchard on an episode of Being the Elite. The most recent AEW Dark, which you can catch Tuesdays at 7 o'clock on YouTube. It is fantastic every week. Shows the dark matches that you didn't see on TV on TNT. It's a fantastic show. The matches are always really good. Got to check out AEW Dark on Tuesday nights. On the most recent AEW Dark, Tully Blanchard went up to Joey Janela, said that he didn't like the way that Joey Janela had treated him on BTE, didn't appreciate the disrespect. Shawn Spears then jumped Janela, and they beat him up, shoved cigarettes down his throat, and tried to rip his tongue out right there on AEW Dark. Gotta love All Elite Wrestling. Creative freedom, right? So on the most recent Dynamite, Shawn Spears actually won a match with Brandon Cutler, and he continued the attack after the match was over. Joey Janela came running in for the save as the chairman, Shawn Spears, and his mentor, Tully Blanchard, ran for the hills. I actually have Shawn Spears going over in this one. I think that this should be a better match than a lot of people are probably expecting from Shawn Spears. Joey Janela is more than just a hardcore guy. A lot of people pigeonholed him into being a hardcore guy. I think he's a lot more than that. This match should be really good, but I think Shawn Spears goes over. We have a match that it's happened before, but this match has been in the making for a very long time. We have Hangman Adam Page versus Pac, the Bastard Pac. So this match was supposed to happen at Double or Nothing. I was there, so I was disappointed that it did not happen. Contractual differences, I won't really get into that, but it ended up not happening. The match did happen on the debut edition of AEW on TNT, All Elite Wrestling Dynamite, Wednesday nights on TNT at 8 o'clock. On the debut edition, this match actually did happen. Pac hit Hangman with a low blow and then made him pass out. Submission, Pac won by submission, but he cheated. He hit him with the low blow first. These two men then faced each other in a tag team match. Hangman got the win over Pac. I keep wanting to call him Pac. You probably catch that a lot. It used to be Pac. People said it Pac. Now it's Pac. If you ask some people, it's always been Pac, but whatever. Hangman got the pin over Pac in a tag team match. Hangman's partner was Kenny Omega. If you remember, this was the match where Moxley and Pac had the disagreement, and Moxley ended up hitting Pac with the paradigm shift and hitting the bricks And Hangman ended up pinning Pac at the end of that match. They've had several other interactions since then, including Hangman standing in the ring, challenging Pac, who was in the crowd, to this match. Pac said no, it's happening anyway. We get Hangman Adam Page versus Pac at Full Gear. I actually think that Pac is probably going to take that one. We have a tag team. Next we have a tag team match between Santana and Ortiz, formerly known as LAX, outside of All Elite Wrestling. They are now officially known as Proud and Powerful. That is their official tag team name on All Elite Wrestling's website. And they are taking on my favorite tag team in the world. I'm not alone in this. The Young Bucks. One of the greatest tag teams of all time for my money. Proud and Powerful showed up and attacked the Young Bucks on the debut edition of Dynamite. They were in a six-man tag team match with each other. They had a lot of interaction in that match. That's the match where Moxley came back and took out Kenny. We'll get into that a little bit later. But this match stems from that. They've had multiple interactions since then. As you know, that's a running theme. Multiple interactions, just little things here and there, including 2 weeks ago on Dynamite on the night when we crowned SCU as the first ever All Elite Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Rock and Roll Express came out to cut a promo, and, we're here to present the championships to the winners of this tournament. Proud and Powerful came out, took them out. The Young Bucks, who were obviously backstage in their roles as EVPs, were helping produce the show, helping, time the show, whatever they were doing back there, so it took them a while to get out. But they did eventually come out and run off Proud and Powerful. So these two teams are finally going to face each other in a 2-on-2 tag team match at Full Gear. I have the Young Bucks going over. They have been struggling a little bit. They got eliminated early in the tournament, which I like. The Young Bucks can't go over all the time, obviously, but I think they go over here. I know I'm in the minority there. A lot of people probably have Santana and Ortiz taking this one to continue. Maybe they go on to face SCU for the tag titles, or if SCU keeps the tag titles, or whatever. I know I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter, a lot of stuff online. I know I'm in the minority here. Most people think that Proud and Powerful is going to take this match. I don't. I think that in a very, very rare surprise win, the Young Bucks take it. Then we get into the first title match of the evening. This one is going to be very cut and dry. It is the women's championship match between Riho and Emi Sakura. This is actually, boil it down, it's student versus teacher. Emi Sakura taught Riho how to wrestle. She is her mentor. She is her teacher. Riho has since shot out of a cannon when she came to AEW. Riho is one of the most over acts that a lot of people didn't know before Dynamite, before All Elite Wrestling shows started happening, before Double or Nothing and Fyter Fest and Fight for the Fallen, and before All Elite Wrestling, a lot of people didn't know who Riho was. Now she is. I saw somebody on Twitter say, 3 weeks ago I didn't know who Riho was, and now I would take a bullet for her. And a lot of people feel that way about Riho. She has become unbelievably over in a very, very short amount of time. She is defending the Women's Championship against her teacher and mentor, Emi Sakura. I think Riho comes out on top there. I think she will be challenged by the winner of the earlier match, Britt Baker and Bea Priestley, which I said I think is going to be Britt Baker. We move on to the tag team title match. We have SCU, SoCal Uncensored, Scorpio Sky and Kaz, because CD is out, defending the tag team championships against the Lucha Brothers and Private Party. SCU and the Lucha Brothers have had many interactions throughout the episodes of Dynamite. The debut episode, SCU was cutting a promo, and Scorpio Sky did the Barack Obama impression in front of the White House because they were in D.C. and then they were on the stage. They cut a promo. Lucha Brothers came out and interrupted them. They had that whole thing. Lucha Brothers then attacked SCU before their tag team tournament match. The Lucha Brothers attacked SCU. Pentagon took out Christopher Daniels. So Christopher Daniels was not able to wrestle in that match, which is why Scorpio Sky got inserted. Him and Kaz go on to win the entire tournament, become All Elite Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Their first title defense is against the Lucha Brothers. All Elite Wrestling wanted it to be a triple threat tag team match, so they had a match this past week on Dynamite to determine who is going to be the third team in that match with SCU and the Lucha Brothers, and Private Party won that match. Again, another act that is off the charts over since they have come to All Elite Wrestling. As well they should be. Private Party is the real deal. You are going to be seeing a lot of Private Party. Private Party will have their moment in the sun in AEW, as will the Lucha Brothers. But I think here we see SCU retain the AEW tag team titles. They'll defend them against probably Proud and Powerful, whether they beat the Young Bucks or not. So then we get to my favorite portion of the show. All of this is going to be amazing. My favorite portion of the show, I am going to save. I'm actually going to do the title match first, and I'm going to save the other match. The other match. I'm going to save that and talk about that at the end. I am a Kenny Mark after all. So we have the All Elite Wrestling World Championship being defended by the Pain Maker. He is not Y2J. He is the Pain Maker. The AEW Le Champion, Chris Jericho, defending the AEW Championship against Cody. Both of these men have cut epic promos in the lead up to this match. The Inner Circle promo that Chris Jericho cut, the vignette that then Cody put out, followed by the vignette that Chris Jericho put out this last week on Dynamite, which was unbelievably funny. It was as entertaining as the Cody one was intense and serious. They also had the contract signing where the Inner Circle ended up breaking Cody's brother's arm. And then I mentioned they both cut epic promos on each other. This past week on Dynamite, Cody cut what is probably, don't at me, the promo. Actually, you know what? Do at me. Do at me if you disagree with this. Because if you disagree with this, I would like to have a conversation. Cody cut the promo of the year this past week, Wednesday night, on All Elite Wrestling Dynamite on TNT. That promo that he cut, they're calling it on the internet, they seem to be calling it the Silver Spoon promo, has been compared to the all-time great promos in the business. I agree. It is up there. It is going to get pay-per-view buys. That promo alone will get pay-per-view buys, will get butts in the seats that weren't going to be in the seats otherwise. That promo absolutely did its job. There is a mini stipulation to this match. It is that if it reaches its 60-minute time limit, there will be 3 judges. Cody has apparently said today at StarCast, or yesterday at StarCast, that those judges won't be nobodies like they have been in previous companies that have done this gimmick. They will be championship caliber judges. They will be people that matter. Names you know, he said. So I'm really interested to see who are going to be the judges for this contest. I would imagine it'll probably be Billy Gunn will probably be one of them because he's a backstage guy. I think Dean Malenko works for AEW. He might be one of them. We'll see. I don't know. Might be bigger names than that. We'll see what it is. But anyway, if the match reaches its time limit, there will not be a draw. There will be a winner. Each one of the 3 judges will decide the winner of this match, and there will be a winner. If Cody said in this promo that I was talking about that if he does not defeat Chris Jericho tonight at Full Gear, that he listens to the fans. And this is my favorite thing about AEW. They listen to the fans. They do what we want to do. We are their bosses, as Hangman regrettably said on January 1st when they launched the company. They listen to us. Lots of people are complaining. Cody's the EVP. Why does he get this spot? Why isn't it going to somebody else? Why does Cody get this championship match at the first pay-per-view? Of course it's Cody. He's one of the EVPs. He runs the company. Of course he's going to put himself over. That's not it. you take Cody away from EVP, he is the most over babyface in the company right now. Hands down. The champion is a heel. This is the first pay-per-view. It's the top babyface against the top heel. And that's all it is. But because people are so vocally complaining about this, Cody has said that if he cannot defeat Chris Jericho at Full Gear, he will never challenge for the AEW championship ever again. And I think that's what happens. I think that Chris Jericho will retain the All Elite Wrestling World Championship. I don't think it will be clean. I don't think that Jericho himself will cheat. I think that it is possible that Hangman Page turns on the Elite. As much as I hate to say it, you can see how much it pains me. I don't want to see Hangman turn on the Elite, but it could absolutely happen where Hangman turns on the Elite. But the more likely thing that people have been talking about is MJF turning on his mentor and best friend, Cody. I think that that's the most likely scenario. Chris Jericho, I think, retains by hook or by crook. Chris Jericho will retain the AEW World Championship. Now we get to my main event of the evening. We have a lights-out match, unsanctioned match between the best bout machine, the Cleaner, Kenny Omega, and the man formerly known as Dean Ambrose. That will be the last time you will ever hear me say that, Jon Moxley. We all know where this match came from. Moxley showed up at Double or Nothing as an absolute shock to the world, shows up at Double or Nothing, rubs against my wife's stomach as he walks down the aisle to get into the ring, by the way. Hops in the ring, attacks Jericho and Kenny Omega, ends up throwing Kenny Omega off a stack of casino chips. That was awesome. I was there. As much as I love Kenny, that whole thing was fantastic. They were supposed to have the match at All Out at the Sears Center Labor Day weekend. That didn't happen because Jon Moxley went overseas to New Japan Pro Wrestling. My other wrestling love went overseas to New Japan Pro Wrestling, which I super appreciate because he put on a damn good show in the G1 Climax tournament. He did, however, hurt his elbow in that tournament while he was trying to learn a little bit about Kenny. Step into Kenny's shoes. Kenny's a former G1 champion. Kenny's the first Gaijin to ever win the G1. Gaijin being a foreigner in Japan. Kenny is the first ever Gaijin to win the G1 Climax tournament. Kenny Omega is a former IWGP heavyweight champion. Kenny Omega was the first man to ever hold the United States Championship, with Jon Moxley held throughout the G1 tournament. He wanted to go to Japan, step into Kenny Omega's shoes, learn a little bit about Kenny Omega, see who Kenny is. He ended up injuring his elbow, had to pull out of the match at All Out. I was absolutely crushed. Obviously, as was the wrestling world, Jon Moxley said, and here it is, I'm going to wave my hand so you know when to beep it. Jon Moxley tweeted, "This f***ing sucks." And he was right. It did. The debut on TNT, Moxley shows up in the middle of the main event, takes Kenny through the crowd. They fight back and forth. Referee's discretion, there is no stoppage to the match. He ends up putting Kenny through a glass coffee table, which was absolutely fan-frickin-tastic. Elite-tastic! Anyway, that was lots and lots of fun. They touched a little bit, interacted a little bit in the tag team match. It was Hangman and Kenny against Mox and Pac, the one I mentioned earlier where Moxley ended up hitting Pac with the paradigm shift and hitting the bricks. They interacted a little in that match, but it was just a tease to get us to where we are now at Full Gear. Moxley has said multiple times that he is angry that this match is an unsanctioned match. He thinks that AEW is screwing him because they know that he's going to beat their boy, Kenny Omega, and that they don't want it to go on Kenny's record. And they don't want it to go on Moxley's record, so that's why this match is unsanctioned. AEW Pardon me. AEW says that this match is unsanctioned because they don't know what Kenny and Moxley are going to do to each other. I don't know either. And by God, am I ready to find out. These two men are, I expect, going to tear each other apart. They have teased a barbed wire baseball bat versus a barbed wire broom for the cleaner Kenny Omega. And if Kenny does not use that barbed wire broom at Full Gear, there's at least 1/3 of Wrestling with Egos that will be absolutely heartbroken. I think that I do end heartbroken after this match is over anyway, as I have Jon Moxley going over in this one. I just think it makes sense. Probably pushes Kenny a little further over the edge. He's been going crazy on being the Elite, going a little crazy on Dynamite. I think it pushes Kenny over the edge a little bit. We get the cleaner, bang, Kenny Omega back. So that's it. Tonight, 7:30 is the buy-in on the All Elite Wrestling YouTube and on Bleacher Report Live. 8 o'clock is the actual show start time on Bleacher Report Live. Make sure you check it out. This show is going to be fantastic. I just gave you a preview. If you don't want to watch it, after all those names I gave you, I don't even know if you like wrestling. So for Brian, for Patrick, this has been an All Elite Wrestling pay-per-view bonus content preview for Full Gear. Watch it, love it, enjoy it. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. Peace!